Have you ever quietly asked yourself, will I live long enough to see my grandkids grow up? Or maybe you've thought, I'm still here, but am I truly living? If you're over 60, you're not alone. Many seniors wake up feeling slower, stiffer, more tired. And deep down, they wonder, is this just what aging feels like now? But what if the secret to living not just longer, but stronger, clearer, and even happier into your 90s or 100s was hiding in something as simple as your morning routine? Not pills, not surgery, just a few quiet morning habits, backed by science, practiced by real centenarians, that could change everything about how you age. The truth is, 90% of seniors never hear about them. But one man discovered them, almost by accident. And what happened next changed the rest of his life. Let me tell you his story. Let me introduce you to Tom. He's 78, lives alone in Ohio, and until recently said this: mornings felt like dragging myself across concrete. I'd lie in bed, groaning from stiffness, dreading the first step. Sound familiar? Tom is not a fitness coach. He's not a wellness guru. He's a retired carpenter and proud grandfather who was slowly fading, until one YouTube comment pulled him back. It was a story of a 94-year-old woman, Rose, who reversed her arthritis, slept without medication, and reconnected with her community, all through 5 simple morning rituals. Tom didn't believe it at first. I'd tried green powders, morning yoga, those anti-aging pills. Nothing stuck. But he gave it one chance. He started with what we now call the sunrise ritual, sitting near a window, sipping warm water, and doing nothing else. That single habit changed everything. By day 3, he wasn't hitting snooze. By day 5, his joint stiffness lessened. By day 10, he wasn't napping in the afternoons anymore. And by week 3, Tom was back in his garden, laughing, remembering neighbors' names, living again. And the craziest part, Tom isn't an outlier. Dozens of real people, commenting under that same video, shared similar stories. I'm 73 and just started doing ankle circles in bed. My balance has already improved. I'm 84 and drink lemon water every morning. My energy is better than it was at 60. I live alone and felt invisible, but that daily purpose exercise brought me back. These weren't influencers. They were real seniors, just like you. People facing real challenges, arthritis, loneliness, memory loss, low energy, who decided to change their mornings and ended up changing their lives. So let me ask you, friend, what if your mornings could become your medicine? What if your sleep, strength, memory, and hope were all hidden inside 10 minutes of quiet ritual? And what if it's not too late, not even close? You don't need to move to Okinawa. You don't need to run 5 miles at sunrise. You just need to start. Because these aren't magic tricks. They're science-backed rituals used by centenarians, physical therapists, and thousands in our elderly wisdom community. People struggling with arthritis pain, poor sleep quality, social isolation, post-retirement blues, loss of memory or mental sharpness, lack of purpose or motivation after 70. Spoiler alert, life after 70 still has so much to give if we reclaim our mornings. Now take a moment, close your eyes, just for a second. Imagine waking up, not groaning from back pain, but stretching with ease, not reaching for coffee out of desperation, but hydrating with intention, not feeling invisible, but writing one small thing you'll do to make someone smile today. This is what aging gracefully looks like. This is what living with intention after 60 feels like. This is the power of slow living, of tiny habits that restore strength, clarity, and joy. Even if you're living alone, even if your knees hurt, even if you haven't slept well in years, you can still build a new rhythm that heals you from the inside out. We've seen it happen over and over again. Another commenter wrote, "After I lost my husband, I stopped living. But when I started doing that sunrise ritual and writing gratitudes, something shifted. I felt like myself again. Not the old me, a newer, softer, wiser version. That's what this video is about. This isn't a challenge. This isn't a fix-all. It's a quiet invitation to begin again. Not by doing everything at once, but by changing the first hour of your day. Because how we start our mornings shapes everything that follows. And for seniors, that first hour can be the difference between decline and revival. We'll walk you through the 5 real habits in the next part. No fluff, no gimmicks, just what actually works for people over 60, 70, even 90. And by the way, you don't have to do all 5. Just choose one, like Tom did, and see what happens. If this story already touched something inside you, let us know in the comments. Which part of Tom's story resonated with you most? Or share your own. You might just inspire someone else reading. And if you know someone in their golden years, a parent, a friend, a neighbor, consider sharing this with them. You might give them the one morning that changes everything. Coming up in part 2, we'll reveal the 5 habits, backed by science, practiced by centenarians, and proven by real people, that could change your mornings and maybe even your life. Don't miss it. Part 2, the 5 morning habits that changed everything. If you had told me 1 glass of water and 15 minutes of silence could change my life after 70, I would have laughed. But that's exactly what happened. Tom, 78, retired carpenter. We promised you 5 habits, and not the kind you read in glossy magazines or hear from 30-year-old influencers. These are rituals practiced by real people, seniors, retirees, widows, veterans, who reclaimed their senior wellness, not through willpower, but through gentle consistency. Let's walk through them one by one. Habit 1, the sunrise ritual. Don't just wake up your biology. Every morning, Tom now sits by his east-facing window at 6:15 a.m. No phone, no TV, just him, the sunrise, and a warm glass of lemon water. Why? Because exposure to natural morning light within the first hour of waking resets your circadian rhythm, boosts serotonin, suppresses excess melatonin, and improves mood, focus, and sleep. Elderly wisdom tip. Even if you live in an apartment, sitting near a bright window or stepping outside for 10 minutes can mimic the effects. Science shows seniors who get natural light in the morning report better sleep and sharper memory. Some even experience reduced symptoms of depression and dementia. Tom's result? Within 1 week, I stopped waking up groggy. By week 2, I slept through the night without pills. First time in years. Habit 2, gratitude plus memory recall. You don't just lose memory, you stop using it. Right after his sunrise sit, Tom pulls out a small notebook. He writes down 3 things he's grateful for. But here's the twist. For each one, he recalls a vivid memory using all 5 senses. Example: I'm grateful for the sound of my granddaughter's laughter when she found the secret music box in the attic. Her giggle bounced through the room like sunlight on glass. Why does this work? Because according to UCLA neuroscience, positive sensory memory activates new neural pathways, literally rewiring the brain for optimism, emotional resilience, and sharper cognition. Senior wisdom insight. Many elderly experience brain fog not due to disease, but due to lack of cognitive stimulation. This 5-minute habit brings memory back online. Gently. Tom's result? I remember names better now. I smile more. I feel connected to my story instead of watching it fade. One commenter added, I started gratitude journaling during a dark time. Within 3 weeks, I noticed the birds outside again. I noticed myself again. Habit 3, hydration before caffeine. You can't expect a dehydrated engine to run. For years, Tom used to wake up, shuffle to the kitchen, and pour himself a strong black coffee, like clockwork. Turns out that very ritual was fueling his inflammation, not fixing his fatigue. Now, before anything else, he drinks 16 ounces of warm water, a squeeze of lemon, a pinch of Himalayan pink salt. That's it. Why it matters. After 7 to 8 hours of sleep, the senior body is dehydrated, acidic, and inflamed. This combo restores electrolyte balance, supports digestion, and lubricates joints before coffee kicks in. Elderly health tip: delay your caffeine 30 minutes. Hydrate first. It's a game changer for energy and joint pain. Tom's result? My knees used to creak just standing. Now they're 80% better just from changing what I drank first. Commenters agreed. I was afraid to drink more because of frequent urination, but it had the opposite effect. I retained water better and felt clearer. Habit 4. Mobility awakening before getting out of bed. A fall at 70 is not a bruise, it's a 6-month recovery. Before his feet touch the ground, Tom does a 10-minute stretch in bed. It includes ankle circles, 10 each direction, gentle knee to chest pulls, shoulder rolls, neck rotations, wake-up wiggles, hands and feet shake for 30 seconds. Why it works? It lubricates joints, increases circulation, reawakens proprioception, your sense of balance, and prepares the nervous system. One woman shared, I used to fall twice a year. After starting this in-bed sequence, I haven't fallen once in 9 months. Tom's result? It's like oiling a machine before turning it on. I stand up with more confidence now. Habit 5. Daily purpose intention. Even a smile can be a mission. Every morning, Tom writes down one specific act of contribution he'll do that day. Not someday. Not next week. Today. Examples. Call an old friend. Compliment the grocery clerk. Text his grandson about his soccer game. Share garden veggies with a neighbor. Why? Because purpose equals longevity. Rush. University studies show that seniors with strong life purpose are 2.4x less likely to develop Alzheimer's, have 44% less cognitive decline, report greater happiness, even when living alone. Tom's result? It gave me a reason to put on clean clothes, to go out, to matter. And what he got back? Mrs. Chen called to thank me for asking about her doctor appointment. She cried, said no one else remembered. That's the ripple effect of kindness. So, which habit speaks to you? They're simple, gentle, free, but they aren't small, because these 5 habits don't just improve your senior health. They restore something even more important, your identity, your rhythm, your hope. Comment below. Which of the 5 habits will you try this week? Let us know. You'll inspire someone else. And if you've already tried one, tell us what happened. Did you sleep better? Feel lighter? Remember something precious. We read every story because this is your channel. This is elderly wisdom passed from one life to another, one morning at a time. Part 3. Why most seniors quit and how to make it stick. So you've seen the 5 habits. They're simple, gentle, free. But let's be honest, if it were that easy, we'd all be doing them already, right? The truth is, many seniors know what to do, but still don't do it. And it's not because you're lazy, it's because you're human. That's what we'll explore today. Why change after 60 feels hard? What's really blocking you? And the 4 mindset shifts that helped thousands in our elderly wisdom community finally make it stick. Barrier 1. I've tried before, nothing changes. The hidden emotion. Discouragement. One of our subscribers, Linda, wrote this in the comments. I'm 73. I used to walk. I used to journal. I even did stretches. But after my fall, everything changed. I lost the drive. I didn't see results fast enough, so I stopped. Sound familiar? This is the one trap, expecting visible change before internal change happens. But here's the truth. Healing in your 60s, 70s, or 80s takes longer to feel, but lasts longer once it comes. Your joints are responding, just slower. Your sleep is improving, but it may take 10 to 14 days to notice. Your brain is rewiring, but it's not instant gratification. Don't wait to feel motivated. Let your actions be your message to your body. Barrier 2. My body can't do what it used to. The hidden emotion. Shame. Tom, remember him from part 1, said something powerful. When I first started ankle circles, I felt ridiculous. I used to climb roofs. Now I wiggle my toes in bed. It felt like admitting weakness. But here's the shift he made. He realized the real weakness is ignoring what your body actually needs now. Not what it used to need, not what it should do, what it truly needs today. Elderly health wisdom. Honor the body that's still trying, not the one you remember. Even 2 minutes of breath, light, or a glass of warm water is a declaration. I'm not giving up. Barrier 3. I'm doing it, but I'm still alone. The hidden emotion. Isolation. This one hurts the most. You may be doing everything right, stretching, hydrating, writing in your gratitude journal, but you still feel invisible. You're not alone in that. One 67-year-old commenter wrote, I drink my lemon water every morning. I walk, but no one sees me. I wish someone would say, I'm proud of you. That line hit hundreds of readers. So let us say it now. To you, we see you, we're proud of you, and you matter. The elderly community is often overlooked. That's why this channel exists. Every comment you write, every small story you share, builds a thread that connects us all. Mindset shift 1. Start with identity, not outcome. Instead of, I want to lose 10 pounds, say, I'm someone who cares for my body every morning. That shift changes everything. You'll hydrate because it's who you are. You'll stretch because that's your standard. You'll breathe and give thanks, not to check a box, but because you've decided, I am worth taking care of. Mindset shift 2. Replace all or nothing with always something. Some mornings, Tom only does ankle circles and drinks water. That's it. But it's enough to remind his body, you're still in rhythm. If you miss one habit, don't quit, just adjust. The perfect routine is the one you keep showing up to, even on messy days. Mindset shift 3. Stack habits with joy. Try pairing your mobility stretch with music from your youth, or do your gratitude journaling while smelling your favorite tea. One woman said, I play 1940s jazz while I stretch. I call it my sunrise swing. It makes me smile every time. The goal isn't performance, it's presence. Mindset shift 4. Track with kindness, not pressure. Use a tiny notebook or calendar. Put a gold star, check mark, or little heart each day you do your habits. Not to score yourself, but to witness your commitment. Tom says he flips through his calendar sometimes just to remember, look how many days I showed up for myself. And when he feels discouraged, he looks at that string of stars and remembers. Progress isn't always visible, but it's always growing. From the community, David. I don't see the sunrise, but I sit with the afternoon sun and still drink my warm water. It still works. Tom. I'm struggling with fibromyalgia and depression, but I still try. That's something. Mary. 2 falls last year scared me, but ankle circles helped me feel stable again. These aren't habits, they're medicine. Recap. How to make it stick. Start with 1 habit, not 5. Link it to who you are, not what you should do. Make it joyful. Music, light, scent. Track it gently. Witness your wins. Connect with us. Comment, share, inspire. Now it's your turn. Which of these blocks spoke to you the most? Was it discouragement, shame, isolation? Comment below with "I'm starting again with," and fill in your answer. Whether it's a glass of water, a morning stretch, or just sitting in silence, we want to hear it. And if someone replies to your comment with encouragement, you've just become part of someone else's healing too. Part 4. You are not too old, and it's not too late. There's something powerful about mornings, not just the sunrise, not just the silence, but the truth that every single day, no matter your age, you get a fresh start, a reset, a whisper that says, "You're still here," and that means something. In the past 3 parts, we've walked through the real story of Tom, a 78-year-old man who brought life back into his days. The 5 science-backed morning habits that improved senior health, energy, and joy. The common barriers that stop most seniors, and the mindset shifts to overcome them. Now, this final part is for you. Not just your body, but your heart. What if you didn't need a full transformation? What if you just needed a reason? One woman in our community said, "I'm 75. After losing my husband, I stopped singing, I stopped cooking. Then I saw a video, just one video, and for some reason, I poured a glass of warm water. That was 3 weeks ago. I haven't missed a day since." She didn't get younger. She didn't beat aging. She just remembered that she matters, and that was enough to begin again. Maybe what you need isn't more time, but more life in your time. Let that sink in, because healthy aging isn't about reversing wrinkles or chasing youth. It's about clarity, knowing who you are and what matters. Vitality, moving your body in ways that feel good. Purpose, making one person's day brighter. Peace, ending the day knowing you showed up. That's not motivation. That's what real elderly wisdom looks like. You're not alone anymore. Thousands of seniors from around the world have joined this community, from Ohio to Israel, New Zealand to Nigeria. Some are widowed, some are tired, some are thriving. Many are starting over. But here's what they all have in common. They want to live these years, not just count them. And maybe that's you too. You don't have to be strong. You just have to be willing. Willing to sit by the window, drink that glass of lemon water, write one memory, stretch before rising, call one friend, not to be perfect, but to reclaim the rhythm of your life. What happens when you do? Something subtle and beautiful. You start to remember things. A song you loved at 22, the sound of your mother's laughter, the feel of dirt under your fingernails in the garden, the joy of waving to a neighbor, and them waving back. This is not nostalgia. This is your body, waking up, your spirit rejoining you, your story continuing. One of our most touching comments came from a 94-year-old woman named Marie. At 80, I ran 40 miles in 2 days at Disney. At 94, I still do all 5 morning habits. I'm not trying to impress anyone. I just love waking up feeling alive. That's the goal. Not to be impressive, not to hack aging, but to be fully here, with your aches, with your wisdom, with your stories. Imagine a world where seniors lead the morning. What if the strongest people in the room weren't the youngest, but the most consistent? What if kids learned mindfulness from their grandparents? Adults found hope in the rituals of their elders. Communities healed through the quiet persistence of people like you. That's not a fantasy. That's a movement, and you're already part of it. Thank you for being here. If you've made it this far, you're not just watching a video. You're listening to something deeper, a call back to yourself. So we invite you to take the next step. Not a giant leap, just a single act. Drink that water, sit in the light, write one memory, reach out to one soul. That's it. Before you leave, you might be thinking, this sounds good, but I've already missed so many years. What difference will one more morning make? Let us remind you, the tree that blooms last often has the deepest roots. The sun still rises for you, not just your past. And every breath you take is permission to begin again. In one comment, a gentleman named Earl, 81, wrote, "I didn't start my morning rituals until last year, but now I get up at 6:30, sit with my dog, and write one line of poetry. I haven't missed a day in 112 mornings." At this age, that's not routine. That's a miracle. You don't need 30 years. You need this year, this week, this morning. And no matter where you're watching from, a nursing home, your son's guest room, or alone in a small apartment, you are part of something bigger now, a family of seniors, a circle of wisdom, a quiet revolution of people who still believe in gentle mornings and second chances. Tell us below, which part of this video touched you the most? Which habit will you start or restart this week? And if you're already doing them, what's changed for you? Comment below and please include your age. Not to compare, but to celebrate. Your wisdom, your journey, your morning. Share this with someone who needs it. If you have a parent, grandparent, neighbor, or friend over 60, send this video. You might just give them the first morning of their new life. Because yes, it really can start that simply. Final words. You are not too old, you are not too late. And your mornings are still yours. So don't give up on yourself. Not now, not ever. This is your time, your chapter, your legacy. And we're honored to walk it with you, one sunrise at a time.